You got 45 seconds to cross Hachiko Scramble to get to the other side. Sometimes the signal is really bad. You know why? Oh, let's go this way. Because there's too many people. This is Shibuya. And soon we'll be in Harajuku because it's this direction. In this walk, I'm going to be taking you from Shibuya Station to the Harajuku intersection. I'm really curious to see what has changed, what has stayed the same. A lot of things have been in flux because of the pandemic. A lot of businesses have closed down. Some new businesses have come. So I'm kind of curious because this is a walk I've done quite a bit, and it's one that is very popular with people visiting Japan. So let's go. I do have the Osmo 5, and it's a little bit shakier than the 4. If it's really bad, then I'll be trashing this and buying another 4. Wow, people are taking pictures of this. I don't know what is so. Maybe some of you might know who that is, but it does look nice hair. I'm no comment. That's right. I am taking a motorcycle school at Koyama, which is in Futako Tamagawa, which is about a 10 to 14 minute train ride from here, depending on if you catch an express. Jennifer French is saying the audio seems out of sync. Not sure why, but I do know the YouTube app was updated recently. So the Gigamac is here. The Ultraman stuff is gone. They have at McDonald's the super spicy chicken McNuggets and the Gigamac, which is just double the patties up. They do that sometimes. I don't know why. Who wants to eat a Gigamac in the summer? I mean, I just kind of want to slim down for the beach and stuff, but I guess you can't help yourself. Whoa! I'm always amazed at the buzz from around Shibuya. There's more monitors, signs, music, jingles, all sorts of stuff. But it does seem a lot tamer than in the past. Many of you who have been to Japan before probably know exactly where I am and are tracing the steps in your mind, which is very cool. This is Shibuya. Shibuya-ku is one of the 23 wards, so it's more than just a city, it's a ward. Tomorrow I'll be doing a Japan travel update before these tours start and just talk about some of the news. Japan has been evolving the procedures to get ready for tourism opening, and that next step starts on June 10th. So I'm really curious to see how they confront this. What steps did they take? They've already done a few things that's very curious, but I think are very good to ease the tensions of the locals, ease it into normal life. Whoa, Family Mart! Like you always notice, it's not just the businesses, it's about what else is going on. They have unagi dons now, and it's kind of weird to see unagi at convenience stores. To be honest with you, I probably wouldn't buy it. Unagi is something that should be a little bit pricier. If it's that cheap, it's probably not coming from domestic sources. But it is tasty. Oh, look at these big loaf of breads. These look bread maker breads. You just keep popping them out, and they put whipped cream in them. And if you've ever done karaoke, you've probably eaten or shared one of these. That's a lot of gluten. I don't know why the gimbal's this shaky. It should be razor smooth, if that's a word. Alright. If you pan out, you can't see the shakes too bad, so it's alright. Now, we got Tower Record here. There's many ways to get to Harajuku. One of them would be through Yoyogi Park, meaning you would take a left from the station, go past Ichimaru-Q to the right of it, and go straight past the NHK building or near the NHK building towards Yoyogi Park, and then wrap around towards Harajuku. There's the other road, which is behind Tower Records, and we're in front of it, and this is the route that will be taken today. It seems like this business here, they're just starting to build. They're just starting to build whatever they're building here. I'm not quite sure, but it's a weird gap in between the buildings. All right, it's too blurry. Writes in Train Freak. All right, let's move really quickly through here. Wow! There's the other Hachiko statue for Tower Records. He's leaning to the left. It's not a real one, but it is a real statue. Wow, that was really mind-blowing. Full of music. Oh, check this out over here. Hopefully the signal is getting a little bit better. You have Attaboy cruising up over underneath the Yamanote line tracks. That's pretty good. For the JIB TV place where we would make Tokyo Eye, that office is actually just about 50 meters up ahead on the right side, and we ended that series in March after 16 years of making shows introducing Tokyo to everybody, and I used to come to Shibuya a lot more because of NHK jobs, and I'm sure something else will come down the road, but I'm actually okay with it because I'm so busy with only in Japan and traveling and making shows. Here's the shop with the blue ramen, and they didn't have a sign out before, but now you can see they do. I did interview the chef, and he doesn't tell me exactly what he puts in it to make it blue, but I'm guessing it's a form of algae. They actually have this color in other cuisines. In Malaysian cuisine, they use that blue coloring. And the owner is really nice. I always thought that ramen chefs should innovate, and he certainly did. And these gimmicks, they kind of, I don't know, it's not something that you would eat every day, but it's kind of fun to try something new, and that's what makes ramen so much fun, because there's thousands of shops. All of them have something unique and different. This is interesting. So it's kind of neat to walk around. They're made for Japanese homes, so things are a little bit smaller in there. And the shop is not small though. Wow, that's another business that's available. Hey everybody, there seems to be some lagging. We're gonna get past that once we round the corner here. This is underneath the Yamanote line, and this is a big break here. You can hear the Yamanote line above us. These trucks have increased. These tractor trailers with billboards on them promoting musical groups. To be honest with you, I'm not I'm not the target, but it's kind of neat to see them cruising by the streets of Shibuya blasting music. The sounds of J-pop and train lines going by it is nostalgic. There's another tractor trailer with an advertisement on it. This Miyashita Park shopping center is new too. So for those that have done this walk before, again, this used to be just like open grounds, and now it's got this building here. Miyashita Park is a very interesting. There's a food court inside. There's a lot of stuff to do up on the top. It's a great place to bring a bento if you don't want to eat in a restaurant. You can eat outside up there. Peter and I did that with an Ultraman burger from McDonald's a few weeks ago in that live stream, which is pretty interesting. All right, let's walk. Hopefully the signal's getting a little bit stronger as we get into some clearing here. That area of Shibuya is always pretty rough. Chan, I actually calibrated the gimbal in the Mimo app before I started, so this should be the best that it gets. If not, it's just the problem with this gimbal, because some people who have had the OM5 have had no problems or issues with it. I think it just might be the gimbal. Everything else is pretty solid. So it is weird that it would be any shaky at all. So I go back to the much more comfortable OM4. This is new. They used to do a lot of skateboarding in this park illegally, but now they have this mushroom-looking restroom, which is really curious. This is where I had a friend who had his sunglasses swiped from. He was selling stuff on the street, and there is theft by stealth in Japan. I guess there really is no skateboarding here. The OM4 does have a leveling problem, which you can correct in the Mimo app by tweaking it. But I've calibrated this and measured it out, so it should be absolutely fine. Sometimes it's not, and that's the end of this gimbal. That means the gimbal gets a name, Chan. You have a suggestion? Chan, do you have a suggestion for the name? Lit Pesos. Is that a name or a number? WRX Turbo is in the house. Must be said. So it's now up to you guys. Bumpy? That's a nice name. It's a Jurassic Park character from some anime series that Kanai made me watch. Jurassic Park, where kids get trapped on the island, Netflix. He has a pet dinosaur named Bumpy. So that might work for Lit-chan. That sounds too nice. Trash-chan. Like, I want to really give this gimbal a bad name because from the start it's been garbage. So here's a park where you could eat a bento. That's just a clearing. That's such a waste of, I guess it's a parking lot or something, but that would be a really waste of Shaky-chan, Bumpy, Barney Bumpy. I don't know what the deal is with this gimbal. Why is it? It's fully charged as well. Gomi-chan. Gomi's a nice name for a trashy gimbal. Stroke. It's like, I don't know. Are these names or verbs? Wow, did you see that? Was that a Porsche? Oh my gosh. Garble the gimbal. That's a mouthful. We could call it Shay, because it's missing a T. Shay. There you go. Shay. Something easy, hard to forget. Wow, look at look at that car. It's like they messed with the axles and put it up 50 centimeters from the ground. That's weird. Glenn's getting seasick, so am I. The good news is that we're almost there. The bad news is that we're almost there. I'm looking left and right. There's some really interesting buildings here. There's the Bamiyan, which is a 24-hour Chinese restaurant. And about 9 years ago, when I made the first 24 Hours at Shibuya episode, I stayed in here because this is the closest restaurant that was open 24 hours that wasn't McDonald's. Yeah, and they had a really nice drink bar. Came back out at 4:30 and the sun was rising in the summer. It's crazy. Up in Hokkaido, the sun was rising 3:45 because you're further up north. It's insane. You have to have blackout blinds in order to get a decent night's rest or go to bed at 8, which is probably a good idea. Maximize the daylight. Gorgi sounds nice. Gorgi. Gimpzilla. That's actually pretty Gimpzilla. Track. All right, there's another dark spot where the signal dies. The chat is it's acting funky. It goes slow and then just speeds up with 1,000 messages going by. Earth to John. Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that. I missed a bunch of messages. It just flew by. "24 hours staying outside of Tokyo challenge." What does that mean? I did an entire week in Hokkaido. Does that qualify? So this is a really unique building, and I remember when they were building. This used to be all construction when they were making the Futokoshin line. I can never say it because I never rode it. But it's a line that connects Shibuya with Ikebukuro. And while they were doing this construction, I believe they were also making this building, and I just love the shape of it and the colors. It's a lot better in full 720p HDR iPhone style, but Fukutoshin, you go. Thanks, Peso. Fukutoshin, it slips out of my mind because I never ride the darn thing. You could just take the Yamanote line unless you're going to like Minami Aoyama or something. Not a lot of benefits unless you're already on Metro. People can stick to Metro. There's a 3 coins, which is a 300 yen shop, which is they usually got some decent stuff in there. All right, now when we get to this intersection here, it has changed remarkably, and I think you're going to see that. I'm wondering if I should cross the street. Now, you know what? I'm going to stick and go straight because we crossed the street before in the past. That's Cat's Dori, or Cat Street, is just on the other side of these buildings here, and that's certainly a lot more calmer than this street here. Usually, that's the 4th route to get to Harajuku. You can go through Cat's Dori. I didn't know there's another Hawaiian burger place. Have you ever seen touch-free coin laundry yet? I have not. I have a really nice washer and dryer made by Panasonic, so I'm not sure. I'm not into the laundromat scene. Look at how thin this building is. What? Look at that. Adam, there's never been a mask mandate, so I don't know what you're talking about. It's a kebab place. There's never been a mask mandate in Japan, so lifting the mask mandate doesn't make any sense. I'll talk about this more tomorrow in the live stream about some of the things that the rule makers have made to help ease tourism to Japan, and these are all really important steps because that's how Japan works, in steps, gradual. If one step doesn't work, they go back to the step before and start all over. Oh, look at this on the right side. They're building something. Again, there's so much construction. That's the Harajuku intersection right here, the one with the Tokyo Plaza up there where those trees are. There's a really pretty Starbucks cafe. You can buy one of those melon frappuccinos and chillax up there with all your shopping. It used to be for the longest time a secret cafe, but it's not really that secret. Really? I should get an only in Japan tractor trailer truck. Just wonder how much. I bet you they're about a couple $1,000 a day, right? Here's the Meiji Jingumai Harajuku station, and this station was always Meiji Jingumai to me. They didn't put that Harajuku in for a very long time. I think tourists didn't realize that Meiji Jingumae Station threw you into pretty much the heart of Harajuku. It wasn't just JR Station. But one of the things, if anything, and right, Glenn, OIJ, a van for sure, buddy. One of the things that I think you all realize with me walking these routes is that it's way better to walk in the city of Tokyo when you can, instead of riding the subway and getting there, especially if you're like, okay, wait, if I go this line, I can take this line and get exactly to where I want to go. Nah, get close and then just walk from there. You don't have to go exactly to the destination unless it's time sensitive. It's really interesting to walk. Just get close by, like, there's some stations around Akihabara. You don't have to take JR. You can take the Toei Shinjuku line and get off at Iwamotocho, which doesn't say Akihabara, but it's 2 minutes from Akihabara. So you didn't need to change to get onto another train to get to Akihabara because it's right there. All right, Condomania is gone. Check it out here. So they are under construction, this whole block on their opposite side. Doing pretty good progress. I think by the time you guys come in the summer, the late summer, it's gonna be here. Hey, Angel Forever 59's here. Is that Michael Sassano? It sure is. Bucket tour. You're bound to come across something you want to eat. Grab a delicious snack. Thank you. Actually, I'm probably gonna bring Kanai back a burrito, because just across the street here is another burrito place. It's another Gomez burritos. Yeah, that's right. One of the reasons that there's never been a mask mandate, meaning you're penalized for it, is because people just wear the mask, and if you don't, you feel sort of guilty about it. But to be honest with you, Japan wears masks in the winter during the flu season all the time. It's not something that you have to tell people to do. If you're sick, you wear a mask to keep people from getting sick. You think about the people around you. And when people say to me that masks work, they have no idea how masks. If you are sick and you're wearing one, you don't infect other people. The risk goes way down. And if everybody's wearing one, there's very little risk. It has nothing to do with protecting you, but if the people around you are wearing a mask and one of them happens to be sick, there's a greater chance that you're going to be okay. Scientifically proven. It's enough about that. More on that tomorrow. I'm gonna save it for the travel update. Whoa! These little scooter things, you see that? You need a license to drive those. You need a motorcycle license, I believe. A small vehicle license, 125cc. So I'm getting a 400cc motorcycle license. You need a 125cc. I believe you need some sort of special license in order to ride those on the streets now. Because there's a long time where they had these scooters with battery-powered scooters, and they didn't know how to mandate this. They eventually said, I believe you need to have a motorcycle license. You know what else is scientifically proven? That Nestle formula was better than breast milk, and we all know how that turned out. What does that mean? As someone who doesn't remember what breast milk tastes like, don't know. Or Nestle's breast milk. That used to be a UFJ Bank, and that's gone. And that used to be a Jonathan's, and that's gone. I wonder what they're gonna do with that now. What? So you're seeing right now Harajuku is changing incredibly, right? So if we can get to 400 likes, I'll take you down Takeshita Avenue. How about that? It's up to you now. Community, chime in. And if you've never written a comment before and you want to write something, just write in where you're watching from. We always like to see that. There's usually some smart aleck who writes some planet. I know who you are. It's a little breezy. The humidity is not very high. I feel fairly comfortable having a riding jacket on and jeans. The humidity doesn't start to come until maybe, I would say, in a couple of weeks, maybe. It feels pretty good, the end of spring, and gosh, it's so blinky. The thing is, if you do come during the rainy season, and I failed to make an episode on this early in June, but I might do it next week. The rainy season in Japan is typically cooler than you would think it would be. Meaning there are days when it's raining, you need to have a jacket on and you need to have long pants. It's not shorts, sandals, and t-shirt. You're gonna catch a cold. It can be pretty chilly. It feels almost cooler sometimes in June than it does in April, just because of the rainy season and these cold airs that come in. Then the rain goes away, the sun comes out, and the humidity is unbearable. So it goes, like, it swings left and right. So June is a tough month to come in the beginning of July because that humidity and the cool and the hot is just going all over the place. If you do come to Harajuku, highly recommend that you go down some of these alleys and explore because the businesses are changing all the time. And my friend Adam, who used to own a wine bar down here, that wine bar went, I think that's where those lights are. That wine bar went out of business after a year, but when he was working at the wine bar, he said that apparently he's somebody who watched a lot of adult videos, apparently, and he said that he saw a lot of the adult artists walking around, and he found out there's some kind of studio there. So if you're into that, that's where you'd want to be. The back alleys. And there might be a reason why there's nobody down there. Just saying. It is a part of Tokyo's, what makes the city what it makes it. So this is a Galaxy. This is one of the few Samsung shops in Japan. I think it's a Korean Japan thing, but I might end up getting a Samsung phone because I just kind of fed up with Apple. All right, we're still 100 likes short of the goal. So just love. Feels good when you. Feels good to give some positivity and love to other people, and it comes back to you. I've noticed that. If you're not feeling very good, you're having a bad day, help somebody out, do some good stuff. It comes back to you. You start to feel that energy bounces back. Start off with little things. All right, if this were France, this would be illegal right now. Isn't that true? They have stopped, or you're not allowed to film apparently. They have stopped. I don't know why they wouldn't allow you to film from the street. That's craziness. They have stopped putting animals in windows, but apparently not here in Harajuku, where pets always come first. True story. True story. Hey, Angel, how you doing? Good afternoon, Chris. All right, you know what? 222 likes. Really? All right, there's more of them. You see them? The scooter dudes. Like he just hopped off. I'm pretty sure he's supposed to have a license plate on it too. Right? I think if they're gonna ride on the road, he has to have a license plate. I'm not sure. And lights and left and right. So this is, again, where the old AC/DC Rags used to be, right on this spot, this little store. He wouldn't sell. I might be making another episode with the owner. Again, his son is so talented at coming up with new fashions for Harajuku, and big supporter of AC/DC Rags. I support them from a distance. You won't see me, you won't catch me wearing their stuff anymore. But all right, you know what? 250. How about that? Can we get at least 250 for? All right, we're gonna do it en route. I'm just gonna take you down here until the signal stinks. I'm only gonna do half of it because we got half. The crepes are pretty good, even the ones with bacon and cheese. Depends on the mood you're in. For me, I'll stick with fresh vegetables. You gotta get healthy. Started the gym again. Finally signed up. Getting back into shape. The pandemic is tapering down a little bit. Everybody's got 3 shots that can get it, and it feels safer. It feels like a good time to get back. Oh, what do you call that color? What is that color of hair? It's not gray and it's not brown. Like bronze, I guess? So Shaky-chan is on her last ride. Mouse gray. I think that's about right. Mouse gray. It's a brown mouse though. Gunmetal gray. Shaky gray. Yeah, Glenn, I apologize. This gimbal's at the end of it. It's good if it just stands on its own and I'm doing like a static live stream, but if you ever do any walking, this gimbal has no purpose. DeLorean gray. I like that. It's kind of neat to walk around Harajuku because, you know, I hate Takeshita Street, but I like how there is something new here. How those businesses go out of business and something new comes here. I don't mind if that happens on the street, but I just don't like coming here on the weekend. I should say that on the weekends. I don't, especially the weekends. Really blurry. Okay, I'm cruising back. So there you go. Oh, they seem to have cut that. Another building has gone down. They're doing something new up there. So that's very interesting. All right, it seems to be blurry. We're going back the way we came because I don't need to go this direction. That's about halfway. About halfway. Is Harajuku on your list of places to go? What is your Tokyo top 10? Yeah, you know what? I'd like to hear. What is your Tokyo top 10? There's some interesting masks. These are all paper throwaway masks for under $2. What are your Tokyo top 10s? Why don't you make that up and send it to me? I would love to focus on that, and that might make a really interesting episode. There are I almost said hundreds. There are dozens of really interesting neighborhoods in Tokyo. There are hundreds that even I don't know about. There's loads of places to go within Tokyo's 23 wards. So I wonder if all of you want to go to a certain place. It's probably Shibuya, Shinjuku, Akihabara, Asakusa, Ueno. Then there's the places outside of the center, maybe. Sangenjaya. I don't know if Sangenjaya makes the top 10. Ikebukuro. Nakano. Oshiage, which is the sky tree. Yeah, you can walk there from Asakusa. Maybe Kuramai, which is the Brooklyn of Tokyo. Very unique cafe vibe with a lot of the youth hostels are in Kuramai, which is a nice area of the city that is walking distance. Nihonbashi, Ginza. That's my stomping ground. Shimbashi is great for going out at night, really cheap. The old salaryman feel to it. Showa era, stopped in time. Just a ton of places. Gosh, it's gonna be hard to make a top 10, and I guess you have to rank them from 10 to 1 in terms of places that you definitely must go to. Which is, 10th. Only in Tokyo. How do you make an ice cream cone cute? Make them characters! I know. Jimbocho, if you like books and stuff. Yeah, those are some pretty cool places. I like that center area. I love Jimbocho they'll walk between Jimbocho and Oga. Gosh, I'm forgetting because I don't live on the Toei Shinjuku line anymore. There's a lot of sporting stores, so that's a place for runners to go to get running shoes at a really good price. Beyond to 11:35, 25th month, awesome. Any place that has fresh unagi, yeah, Kochi Prefecture. Unagi is freshwater eel, anago is saltwater eel. Kochi has some of the best rivers in Japan. And I'm gonna travel this year and see if I can go to Kochi to film an unagi episode. I put in the request and I'll see if they give me permission because I want to film the markets, I want to film the boats, I want to film the traps and how they fish it and then follow it from the farm to the table or from the river to the table. Those are the kind of episodes that I love. Takao-san, really, Saya? Takao-san's not too bad. Like, see, I think you really have to get on those scooters a license plate now. I think the cops might stop them. Yogoku's really nice. Yeah. All right, guys, what do you think? Let me know your comments below. I like to hear from you. Zoom. Oh, do we have a Zoom problem again? I hope not. There's loads of places, and then we'll ask you about the 10 top places around Japan. I kind of want to hear from you now that tourism is starting next month. By tours, and probably mass regular tourism sometime by the end of the summer or early fall. I like to hear from you and places that you think I want to visit that I had in the past and take a look at it. So we are zooming right now. Okay. Well, you can still hear my voice. So you can put that in the messages and the comments. I really want to hear from you and try to hit a few of those places that are really interesting to you. Kyoto is not that interesting. I think it's been covered way too much, and Kyoto episodes don't do too well unless there's something very niche that hasn't been done before. I'm not really too much into Kyoto anymore. I've been there maybe 20, 30 times. I don't even know. But there's a lot of interesting places. It's always changing, of course. But I don't know. It's a tourist attraction. I don't think they need my help for me to shine a light on Kyoto. I kind of like looking for stories outside of the cities that you've never heard of that might inspire you to see another side of Japan. Again, like with this series, I just want to inspire you, make you feel something that you never felt or saw or heard from a new angle. Okinawa, for sure. That's coming this year too. All right, everybody, have a good day, have a good night wherever you're in the world. Thanks for following me on this walk around. I'm getting back home, back to editing, motorcycle school again tomorrow. It's crazy. Doing well, doing pretty good with the class. I had to start on a hill by using the clutch and giving it some gas or axle, excel. See you guys. Bye from Harajuku.